I haven't had a choice in that. But I'm not one to be like, oh, you can't have this or you can't have that and whatever. Like, just be careful what you eat. Just be, I guess the word is like mindful what you're eating and stuff like that. Like, think of it like you're fueling your body or whatever. Like, if you're putting in some good shit, like, you should be able to use that pretty well, kind of thing, you know?
I can't carry anymore.
What else we got in here? Work different muscle. I missed something. Another question, just for safety. I heard you can get injured exercising too much. I'm curious what I need to take a break to avoid injuries. So, you know how you said you wanted to be able to do like the 100 like push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 star jumps and stuff like that a day? If you tried to do that straight off the bat, you would probably injure yourself. Because basically every time you do an exercise, what happens is the muscles get torn a little bit, right? It's a normal thing that happens, right? Is your muscles tear a little bit with use. And when they repair themselves, which you need to let them have time to repair themselves, when they repair themselves, they'll put a little bit extra on top of it if they've got the materials laying around in your system, which is where the good food comes in. And basically, it will then use that to like build a tiny bit extra muscle so that it will be able to handle what you just did and maybe a little bit more next time. So for instance, if you're starting out exercising, like I said, and you want to get into a habit of just exercising every day, try not to overdo it. Just doing the actual exercise itself and getting into the habit is better than being like, oh, I must have to do 50 push-ups today or otherwise like I haven't exercised enough. No, look, if you've done some exercise, that's great. It's more about building the habit of like making that part of your everyday life, because like if it wasn't a part of your everyday life before and it's becoming a part of it now, you have to kind of let that happen and just do it sort of slower kind of thing. Sometimes less is more, you know. Best way to do arms one day, legs next, chest third day, then the 5 days generally take a break after that. So I never really, I never really like did arms or legs days. So I used to go to the gym twice a day, every day, except for Sunday where I only went once a day and I went for a walk around like my neighborhood instead. I was an absolute little gym rat before my injuries and stuff. Now I can do like, I don't know, it's taken years for me to be able to just do like basic shit again. But like I used to do my arms and legs and my cardio and my back all in the one day, every day. Like I did separate cardio into morning, but I still did do some kind of cardio stuff as like a light warm-up. Like I'd hop on a treadmill for like 5-10 minutes to warm up, and then I'd go and do like my weights and shit. I think when I was younger, before I really got to the gym, when it was all more manual kind of stuff, I never really did any warm-ups. I also never really had any issues with that, but that's just me. I'm not suggesting that like you don't warm up. It is pretty good for your body, but yeah, I never used to do any kinds of like warm-ups and shit, and I'd just go for a walk and I'd warm up and cool down in the process. Or I'd do weights at home, and same kind of thing, was just kind of like I'd just warm up and cool down in the process of doing the exercise kind of thing. It was just kind of I don't know, I guess like pacing yourself until you feel like you're a bit warm, or until you feel like you're doing a bit of breathing, and then being like, okay, now I can like increase the weights or something, or increase the intensity of the activity and stuff. Like I wouldn't go for a walk and then just immediately break into a run. That kind of shit. Like that's gonna probably either cause an asthma attack, or I'm just going to like cramp, like one of my legs cramp or some shit. So like, yeah, I'd walk for probably 10 minutes before I start running. And I'm not exactly like full tilt running, I'm just like jogging or whatever. But I don't know, I've done a lot of different kinds of exercise over the years. Like, I found for me that if I took a day off, I got slack. So I just tended to find I just don't take a day off. That's what worked for me. but it took a long time to get to that point before I realized that that's what worked for me. So it's like trial and error. So that's why I say like it's about the habit, because like if you're doing it all the time, but even if you're doing like a small amount, like even if you're not feeling great, like you're not feeling super good or whatever, and you're like, oh man, I really don't want to do any push-ups today or something like that, even just going and doing like 2 is better than doing none. It's about having gone through the motion of the exercise, and you're more likely to keep doing it even if you're like sick or unwell or whatever. So long as like you do take a break if you are sore, like as in like injured sore, you'll probably not at first be able to tell the difference, but after a little while with exercise you'll be able to tell the difference between, oh man, that aches so bad because I did blah exercise, versus, oh man, that aches so bad because I fucked something up. I don't know at what point you kind of figure that shit out. I noticed it myself one day and just kind of was aware of it ever since. So I can only tell if I've done something, it's like, oh geez, that's not supposed to be hurting. Versus, oh man, that feels fantastic because it's so sore. I know I've done a really good job working out, stuff like that. Like, I don't know, I always used to enjoy the aches and pains of like, oh man, doing exercise. I'm a weird one like that. Praise the full body pain after, was it? Praise the full body pain after a day of workout. Yeah. Yeah, basically you'll know if you've done something and it's like everything kind of aches a little bit.
Carry anymore.
In a good way. So I think your body's pretty good at generally telling the difference. Like it will let you know, like it'll be either sharp pain like, ow damn that hurts, or dull pain like, oh geez that's a sprain, or it's just like a mild kind of ache, kind of, I don't know, weird sensation. And it's like, oh man, that's, I flex this muscle enough that it's like healing still. I don't know. I think I should leave now. I don't want to lose much data, but thanks for helping out the exercise. Well, thanks about it. No worries, the waiver. I'm looking forward to like when you're back on September 14th and stuff. So you'll actually be able to like spend more time asking questions and stuff. I know it's like when you're traveling and you just have like shit data. So yeah, please don't use it all up. Keep it in case you need it. And I'll see you when you get back. I'm already doing that for past few days. Hold on, I need my inventory. Past few days, at least 100 push-ups a day, but not in one sitting, of course. Yeah. No, so long as nothing's hurting badly, like in a way that you can't like naturally move around and stuff, you should be fine then. But yeah, that's a lot to be like being consistent. There's no wolf flush wagging too happily. Tesla's wagging something wolf flush. No, Viken's fallen asleep over here. I don't blame him. It is kind of like snoozy. I don't know. It's probably like still pretty hot where he is, so it's probably like he's passing out. Put the sand in the shower after workout. It's not hot enough. Look, I'll tell you what. There is one true sign if you've done enough with leg day. Is you go to try to use the toilet and you almost can't stand up afterwards. Like the ability to like sit and stand. Basically there's a certain point where the legs will not let you like support you as you're bending. That's when you know you've had a really good leg day. When you kind of like fall onto the toilet and then need assistance getting off it. I've actually done that. When I used to live by myself, I was like, I need one of those like assistance railings next to my toilet, because I used to do really heavy leg weights and I was like, no mercy. So I'd always like get to a point where I'm just like basically collapsing to like go to the bathroom and stuff. But yeah, that was always a sign for me that I'd done my leg day right. But as I said, like I don't really separate them. I just like do it all. So everything always hurts all the time. It just different degrees of it. It's really weird to think of that, because like obviously when I got injured and stuff, I went from all my heavy weights and stuff to barely being able to carry a grocery bag, and then like recovery and rehabilitation and shit, and then I got Crohn's happen, so I really got taken out of the game for like, I don't know, probably 10-15 years, give or take. It's a long time of just like, I don't know, I've been at mercy of Crohn's this whole time for the most part, but it is slowly recovering. Not like, it's not like ever gonna go away, but it is getting to a point where like I can start eating things without the concern of it being potentially like cross-handled or something like that in like the making process. I don't have to worry about getting so violently sick from it, you know, just really nice. It's weird though. Oh, my Valkyrie died. It's weird because it's confusing still at this point. It's still new and kind of I never know if it's going to be okay or not, so it's really weird. You need to go up the stairs and your legs just stops. That's when you get on your hands and your knees and you crawl up the fucking staircase. My last house had a staircase, and when I was doing my weightlifting, I didn't realize I chipped a toe bone while I was doing my leg weights. And when I came home, I couldn't put any fucking weight on my foot. And I'd never like damaged a bone before, so it didn't automatically click that could be a problem. And so I was like, okay, well, I can't use my foot and I need to go upstairs to get to bed. I'm like, I'll just grab like a linen basket and put all my belongings in it, and I'll slowly move that up the stairs with me, and that was good enough. And yeah, I went and saw a doctor next day, and they're like, yeah, you've like chipped your toe bone. Like, here's this chunk of bone that's like snapped off at the side from pressure. They're like, we've never seen this specific instance before. What were you doing? And I'm like, I was doing leg press. And they're like, yeah, people don't come in for like leg press. What were you doing specifically? And I'm like, I was doing like I don't know, about 400 kilos. They just like looked at me and I'm like, yeah, no, look, I can get your photo if you need it, but yeah, this is what I was doing and this is what's happened. And they're like, okay, all right. Because I think most of the time when people get like weird injuries like that, they have to just assume somebody's doing something stupid. But I was doing stuff right. I was just at the limit for my body and it gave out. Well, specifically my toe bone just cracked off. It gave up and left. It's like it got itself its little like suitcase and just like it was like, I'm a head out. And I'm like, okay, I guess I don't get a choice, but sure. Also, I've been going past all these locked chests and I've got a key in my inventory and it's saying I can't use it. So I don't know what that's about. I don't think I've been picking it up after the fact. Pain's just weakness leaving the body. I don't know about that. But I don't know. I think anybody that does exercise and knows the kind of pain that I'm talking about when like your whole body just aches, but you feel good about it because like you know that you've done like all your exercise in a way that's like making a difference. It's a small sense of satisfaction to be like you wake up in bed and you can barely fucking move. It's a weird thing. Because like I swear like humans are probably the only creatures that get the luxury of like making themselves sore. I used to think about this stuff sometimes. I was like, man, it's so weird. Like there's no other animal that has the time to be like, man, I'm gonna be sore today because I did something yesterday to slightly increase my strength. I thought I heard a room. Yeah, I don't know. They're weird things I've thought of. I don't think I can fit the poleaxe or the leather. I could like merge some shit, but I don't want to. It's just, I feel like I've got such an empty inventory going back. It's fine, I can sell off some shit. I don't know.
Good morning.
No, almost mate, come back. I don't know, sometimes I'd like to like walk around here a bit more often, but I live in such a fucking hills area. It's like, to go in any direction is I'm either going down a hill or up a hill, and to return home is the reverse. So increased speed is pretty good, but I would probably never honestly use that. I like ones with like poison and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of hills, like when we went for that really long drive and we had like that area that we were walking around over the weekend, we're surprised to see so many people walking, just like out casually walking. And we're like, we get it, this area is like so fucking flat. Like, if I had an area that was like this fucking flat where you could walk from one end of town to the other, like, yeah, I'd probably wander around a little bit more often. I actually used to like the challenge of my area. That was like the specific that was the specifics of why I chose this area. Was I loved like the challenge of walking it, because I used to do a lot of walking and running in this area, and I don't really know if it's still as safe as it was, because like I haven't exactly gone walking at night anymore, but like I do miss it. If I go for a walk anywhere, I go for like a short walk to like a retailer or something like that. Mind you, my short walk is like still like a few kilometers. My definitions of like distance is out of whack to most people. Like when I was playing Pokemon Go, I used to do a lot of walking with that. That was after I recovered from like my back injuries and shit. So I was still in like the thick of my Crohn's, but I still wouldn't not go for a walk to get Pokemon. I'm like, nothing's gonna stop me from catching some kind of Pokemon, even if I'm like medically unwell for it. Hey Snipe, how the fuck are you? I was thinking about you the other day. I'm like, you must be pretty busy with like military work and shit now, because you should have been like well and truly like recruited by then, I'm pretty sure. I'm not dead. We can walk there. What, me? Look, I'm pretty much like that. I'm kind of like one of those people that's like, it's only so many kilometers, and like as long as I've got the right footwear on and like some kind of shorts, I'm down to do the walk, because it's not gonna stop me. But yeah, and there's other times though, like the only time I won't agree to going for like a long ass walk or something is if I've just eaten. Because like I don't digest food very well if I'm trying to walk. My body, with Crohn's and stuff, it requires the extra blood flow already around like my stomach and stuff to digest food. So I kind of have to sort of rest and take it easy once I've eaten something, especially like a big meal, which you get at like a restaurant and shit. And yeah, I refuse to do walking after like a big meal and stuff, because it's just gonna fuck over my stomach, make me sick. So that's my only exception. I won't do it then. I was in prison at Family Cottage, where Wi-Fi is but a myth. Oh my god. Well, you sound like you're in basically the same fucking boat that a Waver's got at the moment, where they're stuck with family and just about no internet. I wasn't expecting that. I was genuinely expecting you to have like being busy with like whatever you do when you like start in the military and stuff. It's like the drafting or something. I don't know enough. But yeah, it's good to see you're still fucking alive, honestly. No, it's not, Rod. I'm not playing ladder or anything like that. I'm doing a nostalgia playthrough where I've basically got Resurrected, and I have played the shit out of all the previous Diablos and whatnot. But I kind of figured if I was going to make a new character for Diablo Resurrected, right, I wanted to make a character exactly the same as the very, very first character I ever made in Diablo 2 when I was 12. So she's incredibly handicapped because of the stuff I used to do. Also, thank you for the follow. What was that before? Gained a new hobby other than games. Yeah, I imagine so. Yeah, so basically what I'm doing is, when I was 12, I had a bit of OCD, so I was putting the points, you know how you get 5 points? I was putting 1 point into each thing, and then the next additional point in the next additional row and stuff, so she can't use a heap of armor and weapons and stuff. She's incredibly limited by that. So I had to get really creative with the gear that I've got. And a lot of it's like enhanced defense or enhanced attack rating and all that stuff. So I can even just fucking wear it to begin with. But yeah, it's become like really limiting. We're so far through to Nightmare at the moment. But when I do like the boss battles, I'm gonna need to like fill up my inventory with charms to even have a chance of taking on the bosses, because I literally can't stand up to them. It's a lot of like kiting the battle and stuff. It's really quite fun though. I love it. It's been the most fun. Like, I've done a lot of different like playthroughs, a lot of different builds and shit over the years with the original Diablo 2. And this is the one that I legit enjoy the most and am enjoying getting to do again. So yeah, this has been great fun. You're basically hardcore Diablo. No, not really. Because I know that you can do... I'm pretty sure you can choose to do like all the Uber Diablos and stuff like that, and that stuff just doesn't interest me. I've just played it a lot. I've played Diablo 2 a lot. It is my ultimate like favorite game. So like I have really good nostalgia and stuff for this. Like I got a great passion for this game. But I kind of never really liked too much of like Diablo 3, and we tried Diablo 4 and I just kept comparing it to Diablo 2, so I'm like, if I'm going to compare it to Diablo 2 non-stop, I might as well just play Diablo 2. And I can't remember a lot of Diablo 1 because I was quite young. I do remember playing it, but I just don't remember enough about it, like off the top of my head, which is a bit of a shame because I wish I could kind of like get in and like have another go. Looks like you're doing okay to me. I am doing pretty okay. For the most part. Like, we're not up against the boss though, so running around isn't too bad. The other thing too is my helper only gets my hand-me-downs and I'm trying to take her all the way through hell as well, like I did originally. So there's also complications, like I can't use any rune words because like when I was 12 I didn't know those existed. The heroic cube, like I know that there's a heap of different recipes that exist and I can't use any of them. So, because like when I was 12, I was like, the internet wasn't a huge thing, right? So we got our information from like an article in the newspaper weekly, and like what little information and stuff we'd learn from that. So that and trial and error. So yeah, that's basically how I'm playing through it at the moment, is like I can't use any rune words. I'm really limited on the gear, like I can't get good gear for myself. I'm picking up everything. I'm looting the entire map to the best of my ability. I also generally like exploring the entire map too, so I'm also doing that at the moment. Hold on. I need more health. I will go back soon as I've got this inventory filled up, which honestly isn't going to take long. I think those 2 items almost. So yeah, I get the entire map before we go down another level, and there's like at least once a day that I have to pick up a piece of gold and put it down so that I can hear the magical noise that we get with, you know, Diablo and the rich sounds. Jesus, can you guys back off? I kind of forgot I'm supposed to use my decoy bit to like keep myself safe. I've been kind of running without it tonight a little bit just because I've been a little bit distracted. But I'm also more conversational focused, so I don't really have any problem with anybody like chit-chatting and stuff like that. So you're basically doing okay. Make sure you keep small, what's that, faster run walk charms. I can't keep them on me yet. So the thing is, when I go back, I'll show you my inventory back in town. I've got a lot of charms at the moment, but my problem is I can't be carrying them on me at the moment because I want to be able to pick up everything. So if I pick up everything at the moment, I won't have space if I have charms on me. But I need the charms for the battles, and I've got different charms to kind of keep them for the different bosses and stuff. So like, you know, Mephisto does his like lightning and shit like that, and Diablo does fire and stuff. So I've got ones to like different things kind of thing. But the problem is I'm trying to kind of keep the smaller charms to replace the bigger charms so I can keep more. But I'm not doing very good with it yet.
I am overburdened.
We might be at max limit. Cool. Alright, well I can go back with this. Give me that. Cool. No, drop that. I remember you tried Path of Exile once. Any plans on going back to that? I haven't got any plans for that. It's just not something I've ever really got into. Like, I think the game's fine. It's just not something that I've personally been interested in. So there's no plans for that. At the moment, I'm playing everything I intend to, and the only thing is I haven't been playing my random game night properly, which is usually Wednesdays, because I normally just play like a bunch of random stuff on there, like, you know, good old Unreal tournaments, and it's a Need for Speed Underground 2, and this is my inventory, by the way. So I can only use this first page because the other shared pages never used to exist. So I'm limited to this. I've got all these charms. I've mostly been keeping the gems to kind of play with the cube, like kind of bumble through it kind of thing, and or to sell. I've been keeping these because, yeah, I remembered what we were doing with that in the exact same way as when I was a kid. It was great. But I have like a shit ton of little charms, and some of them aren't that great, but like if they do damage or if they add dexterity or something like that, fire resistance, poison resistance, it helps. So eventually I'll have those. I also kept my original one. So my character's exactly the same as my very first original one in Diablo 2. She's an Amazon called Kelly. We have, where's my skill tree? We have one skill into spear, and we've got like a lot into passive magic, and we've got fire and stuff. So basically exactly the same. The only thing I can't do is obviously I can't have the exact same charms and shit like that for obvious reasons. But this has been really limiting because I can't get gear. We were even gambling it before because I hit my max gold limit before, and the only way I can get good gear is if it's enhanced defense. So I've been like gambling away trying to get anything with better stats than what I have. And yeah, that's basically what we're doing with it. But at some point, whoops, at some point maybe I'll have better stuff. Like we got a slightly better crown. I had to lose a couple of like good gems and shit for that, but that's okay. Also, we'll do cow level once we complete Nightmare and we're in hell. We'll come back and we'll do Nightmare's cow level because I actually can't do it at the moment with the way that my character is. She's not strong enough to deal with the cows. We did that before with normal. We had to wait until we were in Nightmare before I could actually like successfully start killing cows. Yeah, it was something. Mind you, once I did actually go through it, I think the best way to do it would be to go in with all my charms and shit in my inventory and then come back and then loot everything. I think that's the better way to probably do it because then I'd be strong enough to deal with all the cows. I always like the cow level. It's amusing. These bastards though. That did not put it where I want. Can you guys play with her instead? Because you guys really hurt me when you die. But yeah,
It's locked.
Oh, shut up about that. I still have keys, right? Huh.